Good day, sir. This is the group Cybernetix presenting the Picha Kucha for the group Intern project in EMG 20-1. Here, we will discuss the functions of management in a simpler and different perspective, as well as present the connection and application of each of the functions of management. Cybernetix is composed of, first, ELAMPARO, Controlling Committee, Ramon LAPINA, Organizing Committee, Cruz, Leading Committee, Mhel, BULSECO, Planning Committee, and yours truly, RAMBUYON, Director.
For this project, we're going to discuss three major agendas. We're going to summarize and synthesize the last presenter's discussion on the different management functions, and then we're going to apply these concepts in a real-life situation, particularly on how to prepare for a research colloquium in our department.
Deconstructing on what planning is, overall, planning recognizes that there is a problem to be solved, setting a goal or solution to be achieved, and developing strategies in decision-making to achieve success. When there is a problem, a goal to be solved that problem and further improve is the next course of action that an organization must take. As problem and goals are recognized, the solutions and decisions are then developed to create that how can it be achieved action. Before we make a life-changing decision, we take a pause to think about it. This is what planning is really all about. Planning is highly needed to create a structure, but is also needed to create a leading and communication, and also control the extent of the task and as well individuals. Adding all these leads to the success and achievement of the objective.
So after defining the basic concept of planning function, we could apply it in the thesis colloquium, and it could be applied into two separate categories. So one, if you were an organizer. So being an organizer, basically if you want the event to be successful or to have a smooth flow, you should always create a plan, especially in creating the program flow. You should also need to identify who would be in charge with this or who would be in charge with that. So on the other hand, if you were one of the presenter, how could you succeed in a thesis colloquium? Basically, you also need to plan or make a lot of preparation. You should plan how to create a killer presentation, how to answer questions, and develop your attitude. Well, you could basically do this by means of checking every details of your thesis before submitting, the structure and formatting of your thesis, and by means of reading all of your notes.
Now let's talk about another management function, which is organizing. Mr. Rambuyan has damaged the perception that organizing is always a hierarchy, when in fact, it pertains to the different types of approach in the chain of command and also focuses on the improvement of the individuality and relationship of each members of the team. It also pertains to the importance of the team, whether it be formal or informal, as long as they'll be able to cooperate with each other. And then it also pertains to the team dynamics, where it concerns the development of morale and relationship of each members of the team. Now, we can apply these concepts in our project through the delegation of tasks, wherein we settle for different committees in order to assign those tasks and be able to make the research colloquium successful. Certain factors are going to be considered here. First is the chain of command, wherein the multiple committees that we're going to make will always answer to the executives, which are the main head of the group. And then we're going to assign all those tasks according to the talents of each members of the team. And then we're going to maintain a good morale by interacting with these members, and also give recognitions and awards to those who have efforted well.
The third basic managerial function is leading. It is the skills of influencing people for a particular purpose or reason. Leading is considered to be one of the most important and challenging of all managerial activities. Leading is influencing or prompting the members to work together with the interests of the organization. Leading involves several processes. The functions of direction, motivation, communication, and coordination are considered to be part of the leading process or system. Directing includes delegation, communication, and workflow. Effective delegation develops people who ultimately become more fulfilled and productive. Effective communication involves not only sending information, but also receiving it. Workflow management establishes clear channels of communication. Understanding its application in a research colloquium, leading includes developing a clear workflow. Having a clear workflow that is easy to understand and holds team members accountable means better and more accurate information. In this slide, a solid workflow is shown. We see exactly where the colloquium and necessary meetings are getting held up at in the pipeline. We can also see the importance of having effective delegation in a colloquium. Delegating empowers the team, builds trust, and assists with professional development. Tasks include hosting, registration, documentation, technical, and other assignments necessary to conduct the event successfully. So to conclude, leadership is a vital management function that helps to direct an organization's resources for improved efficiency and the achievement of goals.
Now with the controlling function. The control function's mission is to guarantee that the organization stays on track to meet its objectives. Control is practiced during and after the implementation phase, when the management watches progress and makes necessary modifications. As a result, the management control's role is strongly intertwined with all of the functions. Monitoring progress is one of the most important aspects of the controlling function. Monitoring progress necessitates the establishment of a standard against which you may assess your development, and these standards may be what you have planned in the planning phase. And upon reading and understanding, our group divides the control process into 4 steps: setting the standard, measuring the performance, comparing performance against the standard, and making the necessary adjustments. These steps are needed to ensure that we have done the control process. Now, in a research colloquium, we set standards in a research colloquium by following a formal format of presentations that are in order according to the student's major. We measure performance of the team by providing recommendation forms that are to be evaluated by both presenters and audience. We compare performance over standards by acknowledging feedbacks and comparing to past recommendation forms. Then we make adjustments as necessary. In summary, the controlling function ensures that the things that were done during a project was done accordingly to what was planned and gives feedback to enhance the performance of the overall operations. And always remember that the true value of any team is performance, and performance can only be assessed and improved with the use of the controlling function. In conclusion, our group realized that in order to explain and manage a big concept in a short amount of time, we need to explain the gist and how we can apply these important bits in a realistic setting, which is in our case a research colloquium. We also presented how these functions are linked by explaining how each function is used in a research colloquium and how they support each other in creating the framework of a colloquium.